Chat, do you enjoy Doritos? Well, maybe you shouldn't. Hashtag boycott Doritos trends on X after company hires transgender activist who posted sick things about 12-year-old girls as brand ambassador. Doritos responds by firing her or him 2 days after hiring. Right off the bat, a piece of very good news to extract from this, which is that corporations are scared. Maybe. Scared of the Bud Light effect. And I think this could easily have become the next one. Since they fired this, maybe not. Maybe we're generous and don't boycott Doritos. What do you think, Chad? Do you think they should be responsible for background checking before they hire? I think they should, to be honest, but is that a big enough deal to boycott them? I don't know. What do you think? And obviously, those of you that never ate Doritos in the first place are going to say, I would never eat that trash anyway. But those of you that might have done, is it worth the boycott, do you think? Frito-Lay and Doritos, owned by PepsiCo, came under fire earlier today for recently hiring a transgender he-turned-she named Samantha Hudson, so Samuel then, as a brand ambassador after it was discovered that the transgender activist had made sexually depraved social media posts about a 12-year-old girl and their little cousin. Yes, says TTD. One of a few posts in question reads, quote, I want to do hooligan things like putting a 12-year-old girl in the A two letters? I'm not sure. Doritos hires a tranny activist who routinely tweets about loving pedophilia to be the face of the company. And here's an image with some of the details. What the fuck? I'm not reading these. I'm not quoting these. But this is pretty much, like, it's hard to even say pretty much. It sounds like they are admitting to sexual pedophilia. Like explicit acts with young girls in their family. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but holy shit, that's bad.
Anyone got a wood chipper?
Yeah. That's disgusting. Boycott Doritos was trending on X this morning after social media users dug up more dirt like this on the pervert, they say. And frankly, I'm happy to agree that is an accurate title for them. Doritos is, I would go further though. Different word, something with P. Doritos is no stranger to virtue signaling and controversy, they say. In 2015, social justice activism invaded the snack food industry, and Doritos began offering rainbow-themed products to support LGBT issues. Shame. I kind of like the rainbow as a color theme. But it's been completely fucking ruined. More recently, in June 2020, the Gateway Pundit reported that Doritos participated in boycotting Facebook to compel them to ban conservative voices, namely Donald Trump, from the platform. They do mean Facebook. Why the hell does they say Facebook? Who the fuck wrote this? But yeah, Doritos joined in to try to boycott Facebook to get them to take down Donald Trump. What a surprise. I thought someone might suggest that, Matthias. I don't think this is AI written. Both of these pale in comparison to their latest stunt gone wrong. Doritos has hired Samantha Hudson to be their brand ambassador in Spain, specifically. Hudson is a self-proclaimed who hates women who have been raped. Just to add on, this is who Doritos just partnered with to be their brand ambassador. Like, the thing is, chat, a little bit casual misogyny, I think, is fine. Casual hatred of anything, especially when it's mostly for the meme, is fine. And criticism of groups that deserve criticism, whites and males and straights included, is also fine. But when the distaste of women is exclusively for those women who have been raped because of their reaction to being raped, it's a little less defensible, I think. Like, the mimetic dislike of women that a lot of us use or express or perhaps genuinely have is not a dislike of rape victims. That's a bit much. Yes, Verdant, I know. The part of the irony is you have to deny the irony. I get it. And some of you probably genuinely don't like women, but still, calling it a skill issue is a bit harsh. Indeed, correct. This is who Doritos has partnered with to be their brand ambassador. Boycott Doritos, they say. It got so bad for the brand that they fired the sicko just 2 days after hiring, and rightly so, says the Gateway Pundit. Daily Mail reports Doritos has fired a trans artist that appeared in one of its promotional videos after being alerted to her old tweets, including one where she wrote about doing depraved things to a 12-year-old. Singer and activist Samantha Hudson, 24, appeared in a new partnership with Doritos Spain through a 50-second video called Crunch Talks that has now been deleted from the brand's Instagram. I don't know where the closing apostrophe went there, but never mind. Doritos told Rolling Stone on Tuesday it would no longer work with Hudson, saying they were unaware of her previous inappropriate posts. This is not just inappropriate posts, this is report her to the police posts. Him, not her. Born Ivan Gonzalez Ranedo. Interesting, so not Samuel then. Yeah. Hudson has identified itself as anti-capitalist. Chat, I'd like you to go ahead and just tell me, how surprised are you that they identify as anti-capitalist and Marxist? Just on a scale of 1 to 10, just how surprised are you? Yeah, what a fucking shock. It's like, yeah, we'll put you in charge of our corporation. You hate money. You hate trade and the free market. What a surprise. What a set of absolute morons. Yeah, arguably should be boycotted just for the blunder, let alone the fact that they, yeah, there you go, absolute evil from Tolkien. I'm sure whatever he said there is accurate. Tolkien has said some very good things about evil. The fact that it doesn't create, it just destroys what already exists and claims what already exists. And he is right. I think that's more so actually very indicative of the mentality of your average psychopath, whatever you take that specifically to mean or precisely to mean. That they aren't good at building things that last. They aren't good with principles, and they aren't good with truth. They see truth as an obstacle that they only use when it aligns with their personal interest. The claimed in one video to be for the abolition of and to destroy and annihilate the traditional monogamous nuclear family. As a teen, they also tweeted about wanting to do depraved things to a minor. Yeah, I'll say, chat, again, like, I heard about this. I heard someone say this recently. I can't remember who it was in chat that said this, but the idea of the nuclear family is like a 20th century innovation, but it's not actually the historical norm of families. We think of it as being that, partly because the deconstruction of the family has gone so far today that even the family unit at all is being questioned by the radical left. But the nuclear family is only one step back in the right direction. The correct answer is the full extended family. To have as many of your living biological relatives and sure, adoptive relatives as well, why not? To be involved in the upbringing of a child. That's the ideal. And sure, the nuclear part of that, the mother, father, and 2 kids, is the core, but the extensions beyond that are also very important. So I wouldn't use the term nuclear family. Family is plenty. Family is enough. And calling it traditional and monogamous, that's also perfectly valid as well. They must have learned, says the Gateway Pundit, from Bud Light's failed virtue signaling stunt with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, which saw beer sales plummet as Americans rejected wokeness being rammed down their throats. It wasn't really rammed down their throats, but they were rejecting it in general, being rammed down their throats, because Bud Light hinted it. They barely even included it. It was just, here's a sponsorship, but it's still an endorsement. So yeah, and the thing is, I've mentioned before, Bud Light, I think, was not as much as it should have been, but more than most, somewhat of a patriotic company. And I think the CEO genuinely wouldn't have chosen that if it was his personal choice. But he chose the person to put in charge of marketing, and they were a ideological woman. And they chose the training. And so the company became a lightning rod as a message to the entirety of the market. Do not do this or you will lose all of your business, and it could be a lot more than you think. I believe that effect has, despite the fact we haven't heard many strong indications of it, terrified a lot of corporations. And so now if they do something high profile that involves transgender people, they can expect to suffer, and I think that they're going to be very careful to do that. And that is an improvement over the state of the market from a couple of years ago. One of the many slow but measurable improvements that we're seeing.